vlogs, my name's Arden and this is Wildmount Farm. So I'm out here this morning. I'm going to do some direct seeding in these two beds behind me. This ground looks amazing. It's been tarped since June. So it's been tarped for a really long time. The heat does a better job with the tarps on. So this ground should be really nice and really weed free. So we're going to do spicy mix, dill, and what's the other thing? Spicy mix, dill, and spinach. Our first direct seeding of spinach for the year. We've been doing it in cell trays, but now we're a little bit further ahead and it's a little bit warmer out. We will start direct seeding it outside, which makes my life a lot easier. I don't have to sow it and make soil. So we're going to crack on and do that now. Okay, well, the direct seeding is done. I just picked everything up. Tulsi, what are you doing? I've got all those beds seeded over there. Looking good, looking pretty. So hopefully that's going to need covering. It's going to need hooping and covering just to keep the temperatures up and so that the birds and that don't get into it. But I'll come back and do that. But I just wanted to show you guys in here because Ashley pulled all the covers off. Look at that. Now we're farming. So yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff in here. So this is all cilantro, spicy mix, arugula at the back. Oh, we actually have a little gap. Oh no, that's cilantro where that gap is over there, if you can see that. That's cilantro. This is more arugula. And then back there is radishes, and then these are the turnips that we sowed, oh my gosh, January, I think. That's more carrots back there, so we've got a bed and a half of carrots here and dill. So chuffed, lots of good things happening. Hopefully we should have a lot of food for the market. We're gonna have a lot of eggs. Chickens are laying really well. So we'll have that. And we've still got leeks and parsnips that overwintered too. So eggs, parsnips, leeks, all the microgreens that we've been growing, and then some of this stuff. So yeah, should be a pretty good market. 2 weeks. Out here today and Ashley and I are going to get the hoops up on the greenhouse. As you can see, we've already put one on just to make sure that it was going to work. So there's another 19 to put up, and so yeah, this is pretty exciting. You can actually see what the greenhouse is going to look like yet. We're not anywhere close to finishing it, but it's a damn good start, so we're going to crack on and do that now. Greenhouse, all for peppers, actually, and eggplant, but still Pretty exciting. Right, so now I have to go through and drill all the holes. So some of them already have holes drilled in them, which makes it a lot easier. I just have to do a little bit of drilling. But yeah, it's a little bit of a painstaking job to do all 40 of them. Unfortunately, my bolts are a little long. Well, good morning. We're out here just testing out the wash station. I fixed the little bit of piping that had been giving me trouble because this whole thing runs from the hose and brings water into our wash station. So I fixed the little bit of pipe. You can see it's that real yellow, the yellow bit up there. It's a little bit messy, but I fixed it. So we just turned it on. And you've got to see this. This is just brilliant. Oh my God, I'm getting wet. So I don't know if you can quite tell, but the only part that isn't leaking is the piece that I fixed. So yeah, I think that's safe to say that that's a little bit of a problem. We're back out here today. It's not a particularly nice day, but we've got a pretty busy day ahead. I just wanted to show you guys the wash station. It's all finished. I got a little bit of a clip of us doing it, but then you'll probably see in the video that it started sleeting pretty bad. So we kind of quit, went in, and then came back out and finished it, and I didn't get that bit on film. But this is it done. So we put a little bit more gravel down, just kind of fixed everything up, moved this table was here, so we moved that. Now we've got both of our tubs, so we do like a two wash system with our salad mix. So it goes into one bin first for a rinse, and then we flop it over into this one, and then it will go into our spinner, which is our salad spinner, which is a converted washing machine, but it works brilliant. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that before I jumped ahead and got onto something else. But our main job of the day is going to be getting the rest of this ground ready. Ashley's been slowly chipping away at it, but now we're kind of getting a little bit anxious to get this stuff in the ground, so I've been pulled in to help. And then we're going to get some of this stuff planted today too. So I went down to the other greenhouse and pulled out some of the stuff. So we've got 2 flats of salad mix, those are head lettuces, and then a couple of flats of bok choy that are going to go into these beds. Obviously we've got the covers out already so that we can immediately row cover this stuff before it goes in. And then in these 2 beds here, we'll put potatoes, and then in these far beds there's going to be carrots and brassicas. So we'll see how far we get today. Like I said, I'm going to crack on and start planting. Ashley's forking, moving compost. The weather is going to be crummy pretty much all day, but it's supposed to get worse this afternoon. So I think that once it starts absolutely pouring down with high winds, we're going to go into the greenhouse and do another round of sowing. That feels like all we do at the moment is sow. But it's really important because obviously if we don't do that every week, then we don't have the next succession of food ready for the markets and such. So yeah, pretty busy day, so we're going to crack on. and then we stopped and we took lunch. So I just came back out and I raked those beds. And then I pulled out a few flats of, this is broccolini. These flats actually look really good. I'm super chuffed with how they're looking. So we're going to see how many of these we can get in. I've got 2.5 beds prepped. There's one more bed that we'll put brassicas in, but yeah, like I said, I'm trying to squeeze as much in as possible because there's quite a few flats that need to go in. I don't think they're all going to fit here, but we'll do our best. Okay, well, I just finished up planting, which feels really good. We got a lot in the ground actually. So we ended up with half a bed of salad mix, half a bed of head lettuce, and about half a bed of bok choy. And then we've got 3.5 beds of broccolini or broccoli rabe, like a sprouting broccoli type. So yeah, we're pretty chuffed with this. They obviously look a little bit sad and they're a little flopped over, but they'll figure themselves out. They're fine. We're supposed to get a good rain tonight, so they'll be happy and they'll get watered in. And then hopefully they should click in and take off. And kind of, I was just talking to Ashton, I'm hoping that these will start heading probably around the beginning of May. So yeah, we'll hope for that. The market really eats that stuff up, especially when in the early season, which beginning of May is still pretty early to have brassicas. So yeah, pretty chuffed with that. We have so we're still going to be putting 3 beds of carrots here. Yep. And then these 2 beds will be potatoes. We've kind of staggered it like this rather than just filling it, you know, kind of one way or another, because we had potatoes and brassicas and carrots in this ground last year in certain beds. So we're trying to be good about crop rotating and making sure that we don't, especially the potatoes, plant those in the same place as they were last year, because obviously we really don't want to encourage any disease. So hopefully that will help. But now that I've done that, I think I'm going to go and finish the day by making some soil and maybe making some flats. I'd really like to pot up the tomatoes, if nothing else. I don't think I'm going to get round to sowing today. It's already kind of getting into the late afternoon. But I can at least make some soil and then maybe pot up the tomatoes. So I will show you guys that. Okay, so I'm about to pot up some tomatoes. This is the flat that I sowed before I went to England. They germinated horribly. I think that the birds got in here and screwed with them. I had to reorder seeds, so that I ordered that and that's arrived. So I'm going to sow that today. But first of all, I'm going to pot up the ones that I do have in here. So what we do is we just move them right now at least into a 50 cell tray, so that each have a little bit more room to grow. We will eventually pot these up into 4-inch pots, but that is not today. So today we're just going to put them in here. So the way I do this is I just make sure that I know what variety I'm dealing with. So this is Martha Washington, and there's only one poor little thing of that. So I pop it out carefully. Sometimes a butter knife is really helpful when you're doing this, but I don't have one of those right now. Make a nice little divot. You can plant tomatoes pretty deep, and they're pretty hardy too. Then you just pop them in there, squish her in there, and there she is. She's all done. So I want to make sure I label that. Okay, well, the tomatoes are all potted up for now. Like I say, they're going to need doing again in a few weeks. But we don't do it immediately into the bigger pots because of space. That is the sole reason why we don't just put them into the big pots. That would be great, and then I wouldn't have to fiddle with them again. But like I've said many times, we are extremely full in here. So yeah, anything to help with space. So right now they're in the smaller ones. I'm really disappointed with the numbers. Like, we don't even, I think we've got 40 there, so we didn't even fill quite a full 50s flats. But that's okay. I'm going to sow more. We've got more coming up. Here, let me show you. This is the leftover seed that I sowed before I ordered the new stuff, and this stuff's actually coming up really good. These ones are a little bit slower. I think it's because they're on the end of the bench, but these ones are looking great. So I haven't lost all hope yet of a good tomato season, so I think that they're going to be okay. They're going to pull through. And actually, while I've got you here, look at this too. Look at bok choy. So I think that that is definitely going to be ready for the market. So that's pretty exciting. Actually uncovered everything so that we could water. But I think that that about sums up this video. Thank you so much for watching. As you can tell, the season has really ramped up, so I have a ton of content that I'm going to be continuing to share. So if you enjoy this and you enjoy watching us grow, please give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.